amendment to the Constitution doing away with copyright would be possible in the future as an alternative solution to this sort of Walmart model, syndicating all.
No, I don't. I think an amendment to it, conceivably that I'm kind of radical. I mean, I can actually embrace the notion that copy may not really be the threshold issue of copyright. I mean, that's a pretty bizarre thought. But no, I think people, by and large, two types of people that create. And one, they just have to, and they're going to do it no matter what. And then the others are doing it because there's incentive. You know, you write code, you get paid for it. You write a killer hit, you get money, hopefully. And I think ultimately our culture is such that most people want to be rewarded for that. And I don't think that we will, as a people, embrace something so radical as killing copyright. I think it's counterproductive. I do think that there will be an amendment, not to the Constitution, but to Title 17 United States Code, the Copyright Act itself. And it might be something so outrageous as changing the whole threshold issue. There are some law review articles that have gone down that road that are pretty easy to find, and it's worth reading. That didn't answer your question. It's the best I can do.
You mentioned some Washington think tanks that talk about copyright policy and changing it. What are some concrete examples of ways they want to change it aside from what Creative Commons is doing?
That's a great question. And in a way, one of those ideas really is the notion of doing away with copy as the threshold issue. The reality is that, you know, when you look at copyright, and traditionally it created 5 exclusive rights, and those rights gave rise to industries. You know, if you didn't have really the right to control copying, you wouldn't have the publishing. If you didn't have the right to control performance, you wouldn't have ASCAP BMI. And if you didn't have the right to control distribution, you wouldn't have the Harry Fox Agency issuing mechanical licenses, and on and on and on. With the internet, where content and delivery are becoming one and the same, ultimately, it seems likely that you will see changes to how we perceive those distinctions because they're no longer really there. A performance and a delivery and a distribution, they're all the same thing when it's ones and zeros. So I think that that has been one of the predicate arguments for an amendment would be that we need to go back and revamp the whole 5 exclusive rights, including the notion that copying is the basis of copyright protection. Because what are you copying when you're doing something that's all ones and zeros? You're not really copying. I mean, this isn't a copy. It's more akin to literally a clone. It's identical literally. It's the same. It lasts pretty much forever. So, I mean, a copy by its nature suggests somehow a replication based upon an original, but that can be distinguished from the original, and that's not the case now. So that would be one of the notions. I'll try to get back to you with the rest of them and see if I can, while I'm answering another question, go back and access the Digital Dilemma book that I made reference to, because they lay it out pretty clearly.